Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapandMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada, and I appreciate you joining me today for another tutorial. If you enjoy this video and like to see more, please like and subscribe and be notified when I post new content. Your support is greatly appreciated. I recently participated in a swap with some Canadian demonstrators, and one of the cards that I received, it was one of those OMG moments, and I loved it. So I sent the creator a message and said, would you mind if I recreated that card? I don't own the stamp set though. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoy swaps and I participate in them. So if you're not familiar, a swap is where you sign up to make, say if there's 10 people in the swap, you make 10 cards all the same, sending them out to all the individuals. And then in return, you get 10 cards back from different styles, different stamp sets. Usually have a theme with the swap. And the swap that we just finished was the new mini catalog. And it's great because you get ideas from demonstrators that you admire, demonstrators that may have a different style than you, and you also, not everybody buys the whole catalog, so you're getting sometimes swaps from product you don't own, and it's great to showcase with your customers, or you can recreate the cards, which is what I'm going to do now. So Joanne's card, I love it, is this one. And thank you, Joanne McTavish. It's a gorgeous card. Isn't that beautiful? But I don't own that stamp set, but I really wanted to recreate it. So I did it using some of my favorite things in the mini catalog. Anyone surprised? The Snow Wonder stamp set with the Snow Time dies and the Evergreen Forest embossing folder. Surprise! So if you followed me, you'll know I've already posted a video using those products, and they're some of my favorite things that are in the catalog. And so this is the card that I'm doing for the Maple Leaf Stampers Team Swap. And this is the card. It's like Joanne's, but different. I'm using the same designer series paper, but using different stamp set. Now, this is for the Maple Leaf Stampers Team Swap that I mentioned, and I am not going to post this video probably for about another week and a half, because the cards need to get in the mail, need to get to them, because usually with swaps, these are cards that have not been seen before, and they're original ideas. So while this is not an original idea, I'm altering it from what I got from Joanne, which I do love Joanne's card. Okay, so get your pen and paper handy. I am going to give you some measurements. There's only one downfall with this card, folks, and that is you need a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock to make it. Normally you can get 2 cards out of an 8.5 by 11, and you can't with this one. So I'm going to give you the measurements a few times, but I'm going to start with, I'm going to give you them now, so you might want to grab your pen and paper. So we're using the Snow Wonder stamp set, and we're going to be using this stamp, sending you blessings, peace, and magic this season, and happy Christmas. And we're going to be using the snowflakes. I got ink on the stamp set. On the case. And for the dies, we're going to be using the 2 banner dies. I originally did this card using the same dies that Joanne did, using these dies. However, when I put it together, I realized, no, Elizabeth, the goal here is for you to use everything in the bundle. I don't want to introduce something else, like another die set in the bundle. So I did the card, or redid it. I don't know where the original card is. And I changed it up using these banner dies. So that was the intent behind that. So we're going to use Night of Navy. And the Night of Navy is 5.5 by 11. It is scored at 4 1/4, 7, and 9 3/4. And then flip it over, and this is, you're going to run your bone folder. This is a valley, this is a mountain, and this is a valley. So it'll end up like that. So a valley peak, mountain peak, valley peak, or valley. Valley is not a peak. So a valley, a mountain, and a valley. That's Night of Navy. We're going to be using the Designer Series paper from the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper pack. And I'm just getting the pieces here that I can share with you. Okay, so this pattern, you need one piece that is for 1 by 5.25. And out of this pattern, you need one piece that's that's 1 by 5.25, and you need one piece that is 2.5 by 5.25. So these are both the same pattern. This one is a different pattern in the pack. Here's the thing with the Designer Series paper. Pick what you like, it all coordinates together. So pick the patterns that you like and that are going to work best for your card and work with those. But those are the measurements. 1 inch by 5.25, 1 inch by 5.25, 2.5 inches by 5.25. You also need a piece of Whisper White. That is 2.5 inches by 5.25. And out of the banner dies, you need one that's in Whisper White and the same banner die that is in a Balmy Blue Glimmer. I had to think of what that name was. And you need one in Whisper White out of the small banner die. And because we are using the Night of Navy, you know what? I'm going to do the stamping first, because you know that the Night of Navy is really deeply pigmented, and that's the only ink we're going to be using this time. And it sometimes takes a bit to dry, and I just want to make sure I don't get it on me or my hands. And so using the little snowflake die, a snowflake stamp, we are going to stamp in the corner like that. And you're going to put that aside so you don't get ink on you. Then we're going to take the tree and we're going to stamp that at the bottom left-hand side, like that. And now we're going to put that aside. We're going to take the Whisper White large die, the large banner and the small banner. The large banner, we're going to have Sending You Blessings, Peace, and Magic this Christmas season. And we're going to stamp that. This is a very sort of flourishy, elegant font. I like it. It's a really pretty font. There you go. And then using the Happy Christmas on the smaller banner. Just realized I'm hungry. So if you hear my tummy rumble, it's because I'm hungry. Okay, and I'm going to put that aside. And I'm not wearing pajama bottoms today, so I don't have anything to wipe my hands on. I just have shorts on. So I'm going to put them on my shorts. They're blue jean shorts, so it's okay, right? Okay, now taking our piece of Night of Navy that we have scored, we are going to adhere this pattern to the front there. We're going to adhere that pattern there. Adhere this pattern here. The Whisper White will get adhered and the silver foil will get adhered. But let's start adhering some of these pieces. And I'm going to show you kind of my logic assembling it. I'm starting with the very first one here because I want to make sure as I'm going along I'm dry fitting the pieces, because I want to make sure it's not so big a deal on this one. But when you get to this one, you know, sometimes our cutting is not perfect, right? So I'm going to put it like that. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to lay it here. I'm going to dry fit it, make sure that it matches north and south, and it does. Then I'm going to do the same thing, which I should have done before I stamped the white, and I'm going to put it here and make sure it's a little bit high, so I'm going to trim a little bit off of that. but I'll do that in a minute. So let's get started. Let's get started and adhere the designer series paper. And you know that this is the new Stamp and Seal or the Stamp and Seal Plus. Run it along, lift your wrist up and break it, and that way you're going to get a continuous adhesive. You're not gonna, it's not gonna, you don't have to manually roll it forward next time you go to use it. Okay, here's the first one down. And now I'm gonna take this one. See, I'm gonna roll it along and then lift up and break it. Roll it along, lift up. Next time I'm going to show you when you don't break it and what you have to do. And now I'm going to lay this down, making sure you've got even edge, north, south, east, and west. Oops. I need a little bit more up top. Oops. Oh. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to show you not breaking it. So if you go along like that and you don't break it, next time you go to use it, oh, it worked that time, but it doesn't always. See, it doesn't work that time, so now I have to advance it forward. So roll it along and lift it up and break it. So if you just roll it and then stop, it's not going to break it in the right spot. And now I'm going to put this down and make sure I'm even on the bottom. And if I'm even on the bottom, I should be good on the top. There we go. Okay, now I need to bring in my paper cutter because I need to trim off just a titch on this side. I'm going to take it off the bottom. It's the ever so little amount. And then when I put this down, it will be even north, south, east, and west. Now, the one thing we're going to do is we need to emboss the silver foil. And sometimes the silver foil, when you emboss it, especially as large a space as what the Evergreen 3D embossing folder is, the foil can stretch a little bit. So what we're going to do, we'll have to, after we emboss it, we're going to dry fit it to make sure that it's the right size. I'm breaking up the new Stamp and Cut and Emboss. This is the big boss. Okay, so because this is the 3D embossing folder, we have plate 1. We're going to put the silver foil in here, and we are going to put it on this black line so that we know that it's straight. See this black line here, right along there? Put it along the black line. And I'm going to put it towards the bottom. There we go, I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it towards the bottom because I want as much of it in the tree image as possible. And now I'm going to put this in without shifting it. I'm putting it on plate 4 because this is the 3D embossing folder. I'm just going to move this closer to me. And this is like butter. I cannot tell you how smooth it works. Unbelievable. And then here is, isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Even the back. Look how beautiful the back is. It's pretty too. So let me just put this back on the floor. That's not where my embossing folder stays. That's not where my cut and emboss machine stays. It actually has a place, but it's on the other side of the room. So now I'm going to put this, I'm going to dry fit this down here and match it up at the bottom and see where it's high. So I need to trim off. I need to trim off. And it's possible that I did cut this a little bit extra, but I don't think I cut it that much extra because I knew I was going to be trimming it. Let me just make sure that's perfect. Okay. And that's going to get mounted like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Tell me you guys love it. Okay, so now you can actually use the Tombow glue, or I'm going to use the Stamp and Seal Plus. But because of all these crevices here, make sure you get adhesive right along that bottom. You do not want this card lifting at all. And I'm also going to put some of the Stamp and Seal Plus. I'm going to put it in the middle as well. You'll when you do it, you'll see how it kind of has stretched. And I'm going to put this down like that. And do I have it straight? Just be careful. Don't, with your finger, you might squeeze it too tight and lift it up here. So just make sure you don't do that, and that you don't get a buckle. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is, and then just make sure you really emboss it. Squish it down here so that all that adhesive gets. Isn't that beautiful? I love this effect. Oh, Joanne, thank you. It was a beautiful card you sent. Okay, I digress. Now on to this. So we're going to take the Happy Christmas. Look at it. You can see the ink on my hands. This is not the first card I made today. Happy Christmas. And then we are going to put this flush onto the glimmer paper. Okay, what I love about the glimmer paper is that the glimmer doesn't come off. So you can put adhesive and it will adhere. And I'm using the Stamp and Seal Plus. You can probably use the multi-purpose liquid glue as well. Okay. And does that look centered? No, it needs to come over a little bit. Before I actually smoosh it down, I'm going to make sure it's center. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Now I'm going to get my trusty pencil. I've done this before. And I am going to, so I want the Happy Christmas kind of to go like that. Okay. So I don't want adhesive past that point. So I am going to flip it over and just put a pencil mark like that. So I know that not to put adhesive past there. And I just may use liquid adhesive for this. I don't want this baby going anywhere. Oh, so I might need more. Oh, there it comes. And I dot. I don't want the adhesive splaying out. And I'm just looking here where the line is, and then I'm going to flip it over and make sure I've got it straight. This balmy blue, it's really sort of takes on different colors. Like when you look at it in the package, it's balmy blue, but when I look at it against this, it almost looks like it's got a green tinge to it. Like it's really pretty. It's really pretty. If you wanted to, you could pop that up. I didn't because it's just one more layer, and we are going to be popping up the sentiment on the inside. Okay, so why did I do it the way I did? The sentiment in this stamp set was too wide to go here. And so my intention with this is to put this here, and then you can write your sentiment here. But when you put this here, you need to put it so that it is nested behind this. So we're going to put dimensionals here, and then we're going to take it, oops, sorry. You have to do it like this. Match it up with this edge here. We're going to put dimensionals here, and then we are going to flip it over and put it down. And then that way you know that this is going to cover this. And so when you see the card, you are not going to see the white. Does that make sense to you guys? I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to put dimensionals, and I'm going to put 4 corners, and I'm putting 1 in the middle so it doesn't sag. And just taking off the dimensional backings. Everyone has tricks for taking off the backings. I just do it this way. It's just as easy for me. Okay. Now, here I've got, this is one of the reasons why I stamp this first, so that everything can dry. So you're going to do that. And I'm going to, I actually want this a little bit shy. I'm going to bring it up to you. I'm going to bring it up to the camera. Like that, so that it's not right flush, but it's a little bit down a little, just it's down a little bit. And then make sure you've got it straight. And you can actually do it one of 2 ways. You can take this over, or actually I'm going to take this way. Do it lightly in case it isn't straight. So see, there's the Happy Christmas, and there it's not totally straight. So I'm going to pick it up just a little bit. Come on, come on, just a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to, you probably won't even notice it. There we go. And there's the card. Isn't that pretty? Thank you, Joanne. I loved Joanne's inspiration. Probably still love Joanne's card more. But this is an idea of taking a taking a swap card or a card you've seen. And so many times I'll have people say to me, oh, I can't make that card because I don't have that stamp set. Yeah, you can make the card. You can make it using what you have on hand. And so it's the same card, but using what I had on hand. So I hope you enjoyed today's inspiration, and as I said, this was a swap card for the Maple Leaf Stampers. So when you guys get your card, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it. Like and subscribe for more inspiration, and I really do appreciate you checking in today. Take care and have a great day.